think that the car business is changing a lot. In just even the last 5 years, the car business has changed quite a bit. When I started selling cars, we used these things called four squares. Basically, it was a handwritten quote that you'd give to people. You'd say, here's your monthly payment, here's your interest rate, here's the cash down that we need. Like, do you want that? So you didn't disclose certain things like sale price if you didn't want to. It was a little different. And now we have a system that basically breaks everything down. It's all printed out, it's all computer generated, and it discloses everything. It makes sure that the dealership's not going to get in trouble, make sure that everything's legitimate. There's still a lot of like old school tactics that they have. So some dealers have add-ons that they add to the car. Some dealers have markups that they put on particular vehicles. And you are legally able to do that. It's totally fine. It's not against the law. People kind of expect it actually a little bit at some places, especially people that have bought cars in the last, 15 years. The really old car business was a lot different, though, from what I've heard. I never actually worked in it, but I heard it was like the Wild West. You would walk in, you didn't know what the price was, they told you what the price was, and then they came out with Monrooney stickers, so the window stickers in the car, so you could see an actual manufacturer suggested retail price, which is the manufacturer says the car should sell for. And everyone started expecting discounts off of that. I think the car business is going to move forward to something a little bit more focused, like a retail store or an Amazon website. People are, if they're going to walk in, they walk in, here's the price, this is fair, and we're done. Which is kind of interesting. There's been a couple brands that have tried that, and they've actually failed, which I don't actually understand, but I guess there is something in human nature that wants to negotiate, and you see that every day. There was Saturn, and there was Scion, and those brands are now gone, but they both had basically no haggle pricing. On the used cars, though, a lot of people will go to CarMax or go to, for example, there's a shop here in town, Roberts Auto Sales, and they do no haggle pricing, there's no salespeople, and people seem to really like that on used cars, but for some reason on new cars, those brands failed. It might be marketing, it might be the cars that they had, the price that they sold for. Could be something like that. But I feel like that's where the car business is shifting to. You can see with Tesla that they're basically taking orders at a store. You can test drive one of the cars they have there, and they, drop it off. You pick it up. However you choose to do that. There's a lot of laws that make it so that way the car business stays the way it is. That there's always going to be salespeople. They have laws that basically make it illegal in some states for a manufacturer to sell directly to consumers. So I believe it's Wisconsin, Texas, and a couple other states. I think there's about 6 or 7 that Tesla can't sell cars in because of their business model. So there's a lot of entrenched laws that make it so that way the car business stays the way that it is. But I think you'll see that transition more towards something of a business model like Tesla. Used cars are going to be a lot more like CarMax, because everything seems to be moving towards like the larger dealers, the larger companies. And I think it's good and bad. I think the fact that we have franchise dealers, the fact that there's negotiation and all that going on in the car business makes it so that way things have to be competitive. So you know that you're going to go get a good deal if you try. And that's good, but there would still be competition with different brands. So I think people will move away from knowing that they're going to get a good deal on this car to being that this car is a good deal for the price that they tell you that it is, if that makes sense. So because the laws, it might take a lot more time, But I would say in the next 10 to 15 years, you'll see a lot more dealers that do it like CarMax, like Tesla, like those types of styles of sale. And I know there's a couple little startups and stuff that are out there that are trying to do the same type of thing. They want to deliver the car to your house. They'll take all your information over the phone or over the internet, and they'll just have that done. And it's a pretty cool business model. And it'll be exciting to see what happens. And I think people will like it, but if you like negotiation, there's other things you can negotiate on. You go to the flea market, you go to whatever you want to. And I think I'll do a video about negotiation, or at least how to get a good deal, because there's plenty of information out there. There's tons of websites that have gone into details about that. I don't think that's anything I'd get in trouble for. And it'd be cool to just kind of explain what I've seen customers do to get really good deals, because there's some customers that have gotten better deals than I've ever even gotten on my car. So that'll be an interesting thing. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.